predicting the 2025 Backlash card. I'm Will. That's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. As always, let's cheers. Talk about some wrestling, huh?
Yeah, Backlash is right around the corner after Mania. Kind of a quick turnaround. I mean, it always is, but this one seems a little bit quicker here. So you know we're going to get some rerun feuds, some feuds we maybe already got. I mean, that's kind of the point of Backlash, right?
It's called used to be called WrestleMania Backlash, but there's already 15 days less than to it, but we only have one match, so we're gonna, do our best to predict the rest of the card. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff before we get into it. But let's talk about the one match that we already know is happening, the one that everybody foresaw coming from the second John Cena got RKO'd in the ring after WrestleMania on Raw. We do have John Cena versus Randy Orton. I guess because this is already on the card, should we just share who should win this thing? I'm guessing it's John Cena. A little bit too early to be dropping the belt, right?
Yeah, I would say it's a little bit too early. I'm conflicted because John should not drop the belt, right? Because he's doing some really good work. But at the same time, I want Randy Orton to win. That's not going to be my pick. I'm going to pick John Cena, but it would be really cool to have Randy Orton win in his hometown, which is why it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's some story there if you were to drop it, because you could then write the long-term story of the year of Randy's on his tail. He's got 15 now. I mean, John Cena's whole thing was he wanted to break the record and leave and stop history. So I guess you could, tease a little long-term storytelling if you were to drop it. But I mean, I would bet everything I have, even though that's not much, I'd bet everything I have that John Cena retains this thing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's, like I said, Cena's doing some really, really good stuff right now, and so you don't really want to halt that momentum. Don't expect to see a Travis Scott or anything, so, maybe that comes into play. I don't know, who knows? It is going to be interesting to see how they actually book the match.
Yeah, it's going to be a slow one. But hopefully we get no Travis Scott. It's going to happen. We're going to be fiending in St. Louis.
I don't know about that.
Let's move it on, though. We're going to stick to Raw. Some of the stuff that I'm predicting we may see on the Backlash card. Once again, we do not show each other our list. I have Rhea and Iyo Sky settling their feud once and for all. At Monday Night Raw, we did see Rhea come out to aid Iyo Sky when she was getting attacked by Roxanne and Julia. And then they had that little moment where they were, fighting over the belt for a second there, and Rhea looks at her and says, I'm still coming for that. So I think that one way or another, we do get Rhea versus Iyo Sky at Backlash, and I don't see it being a clean end because rumors of Evolution 2.0 are coming, and the rumored match for Rhea there is against Julia. So maybe we continue that story route at Backlash, have Julia cost Rhea Ripley one way or another. That gets Rhea away from it, but we at least get one more singles match between these two.
Yeah, and I think we all can kind of agree. I had this on my prediction as well. The match is going to be phenomenal. The build, you don't really need to do a whole lot, so that's why it's perfect to slide right in here. I think it's going to be 12-ish days by the time Raw goes versus the Backlash. So something quick, something easy. You can just do it again. I mean, that match between Rhea and Julia is going to be phenomenal. That's going to be great. It's going to be nice to have Iyo get some fresh faces, some fresh challengers. A little bit worried on the back end eventually. After the Evolution thing's all said and done, Rhea Ripley's going to come out and be like, well, I got screwed out of the title. I never lost that. And you're going to be like, damn it. Well, that is what it is. But it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because I do think that out of the triple threat, there were two main story threads, and it was Rhea and Bianca, which that's going to be tabled till maybe Mania of next year at some point. But then Rhea and Iyo was obviously a through line as well because it all started with their match, or the Iyo Sky versus Liv Morgan match, where all that, all the huge build up to WrestleMania that we had between the two did end up being something to where it was like, okay, we need closure between these two. So this, Backlash is the tying off of WrestleMania feuds that carry through. This would be a finish off of that one. So I have that being a match on there. What do you got?
Yeah, I've got another, I would say a pretty obvious one at this point. I'm going to go with Becky Lynch versus Lyra. Seems pretty set in stone. Seems like something you could do real quick again. I mean, they've already shown that they don't really care about the time frame in terms of how fast or how slow something may go. You still really haven't got a reason as of right now for Becky turning, so I assume we get that on Raw. And you just kind of press the fast forward button and you get this going, turn this up, and really kind of have Becky, I would say, take that IC title off of Lyra, just because even though Becky did turn heel, Becky is returning. Becky still has all that momentum. The heel turn, even though it was only a one-day heel turn, seems like, okay, that really brings kind of like the juice to something. And it would be really cool if she does go with Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins and she's got the gold. I would just really like that dynamic. So you could give me that at Backlash, and what's going to be maybe a match of the night in terms of like in-ring wrestling. Going to be phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, I had this on my card as well. It makes a lot of sense because obviously you want the returning Becky Lynch on your Backlash card, but you also get to see a mid-card championship on a PLE. How cool would that be, WWE? You finally went and did it. Yeah, I think Becky Lynch is going to take it here as well. I think it makes sense for her to take it here, and then you have Lyra, have to work her way back into the title scene or continue the feud, see what Lyra's got, see if she's got the steam to recapture that from Becky if they want to turn her Lyra into a big time star, if she earns that right in this feud. But yeah, I think this is a guarantee on the Backlash card. And honestly, I'm looking forward to it because big time Bex is back.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say that, I think it's back in business Bex, I think is what I saw.
That's
the slogan. I don't know if I like that, but not saying that they need to write Lyra off TV necessarily,
No.
but you could have like a little bit of time for her to kind of go away and kind of tweak her character. We've talked about the character and the promo cutting ability, not being able to really connect. This would be a chance to really kind of deep dive and have her focus on that.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I would love to see Lyra on the card. Let's stick on Raw, though. I think the big match that's going to happen at Backlash with this Evolution 2.0 stable is going to be Roman Reigns and CM Punk taking on Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker in a tag team match. And I think during the match, we are going to get the reveal of whatever other member they have, whether that be a woman member like Becky or somebody else that we, all of us are trying to predict. But I think that's going to be a big match at Backlash.
Yeah, I feel like this one just kind of makes sense, and you need something to really kind of look forward to, I would say, with Backlash. Like I said, with so much with the Backlash card, like you're just rehashing some old stories. Or some people may say, oh, well, we've seen this before, so maybe they don't like Backlash necessarily. But you got to have something new, kind of invigorate it. This has been the widely talked about thing that kind of happened at Mania, and after Mania, you had Paul Heyman siding with Seth Rollins, and we still haven't really got that whole reason. But then you have the future with Braun Breaker, and what's that look like? Can Punk and Roman even work together as a team? That could be an interesting storyline. It does feel as if that's going to be rushed, quote unquote, from the Punk Roman side in terms of storytelling. But it's going to be like, hey, he turned his back. Hey, he turned his back. Let's get after it. And then you get that third member. That's going to be like the real kickoff point. You can really just kind of shoot this faction like to the moon.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. The tag team of Roman and Punk is going to be kind of rushed, but they do have the Paul Heyman thing. They're going to be like, hey, we both hate this guy. We both hate Seth Rollins. Braun Breaker's been spearing us. That didn't feel too good, so let's go kick this guy's butts. But what I really hope from this match is I hope that everybody is in agreement going into it, Seth, Roman, and CM Punk. It's just like, this is the Braun Breaker match. Let's just get him the hell over. And I know Braun's been doing some great stuff over the last few years, but when you're in the ring with these guys, these are the guys that can put you into the upper echelon of WWE superstars. Like, these guys can make you a top market guy in the WWE. So just let him go absolutely wild. I would say make Braun Breaker look like the most unstoppable human in the world during this match. But hopefully we get this tag team match because it writes itself, and that's just for the top names in WWE. And it's like, hell yeah, I want to see that on Backlash. I want to see that in a match.
Yeah, exactly. And we talked a little bit about Roman specifically at WrestleMania. Roman being at the top physique that Roman Reigns has ever been in. And then he came and he got in the ring, and you're like, well, let's see if he phones this in. And he did not. No. He went all out at WrestleMania. So it'd be nice to see that Roman and Punk again, just really kind of putting Braun over. Yep. Like you said, not even so much Seth. Like Seth can just kind of sit back and be like the director, like the head of everything, and Braun can just do all the dirty work.
Completely agree. What else you got?
Well, I'm going to go with one that I'm going to say I don't think this is going to happen, but you talked about the mid-card title being on a PLE, so I'm going to talk about the tag titles being on a PLE. I'm going with the War Raiders versus the New Day. Now, is this something I'm exactly excited for? No. Is this something that I'm going to sit here and bang the table for? Also, no. They came out, War Raiders did, and talked with A-Town Down Under, and they were like, well, we're number one contenders. Well, no, we're number one contenders, and this is war. And you're like, oh, well, this is this is ass. This is not good. This is terrible. They did that weird kind of finish at Mania, which didn't really make a whole lot of sense. Now I could just see this being on a random Raw, and that's probably what we get, and that's fine. I'm more so, especially coming off the heels of a fantastic SmackDown tag team title match, being like, hey, let's at least give the Raw tag titles a chance. Let's at least put them on there and see what they can do. Now, it's not going to be as good as that Triple Threat TLC because that was amazing, but it would be nice to see some tag titles on a PLE, and that's really the only reason why I put it on there. There is some kind of story, and you don't really need to like rehash anything, and you could just have New Day win, and that be the end of that. But like I said, this is probably like a 5% chance of happening, but I would like to see the tag titles on a PLE again.
I would like to see tag titles in the PLE, but not the Raw ones. I think that after what the TLC match did on SmackDown, like, I think we have to back Raw's tag team division into a corner and go, all right, in order for you guys to even see a PLE again, you guys got to earn it. Like, we got to, like, from the creative standpoint, from the talent standpoint, everybody, you got to just lock in and earn yourself another match on a PLE, because SmackDown guys got the boot, and they came out and they gave us all a middle finger when it comes to the creative team and everybody who decided to not put that on the WrestleMania card. So I didn't have a tag team match on here, but if I was going to give it a tag team match, man, throw Fraxium and Street Profits at this thing. They came on SmackDown. They've been great. And the Street Profits obviously are just fantastic. They would win this match, but the match itself would be high-flying craziness that I would be down for. So if there is a tag team match, that's the one that I want to see.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not going to sit here and and bang the drum and hit the table for New Day and War Raiders, but it feels weird that the Raw tag titles, I mean, they are a thing. Like, they're legitimate titles, but for almost the better part of, what, a year and a half?
Yes.
Almost 2 years. They're just non-existent. So some way, somehow, you got to take a step in the right direction. I understand, like you're saying, put them on weekly TV maybe, but even that they're not getting. So something's got to change.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of matches that we don't think are going to make the card, but we discuss whether or not they should be, Chelsea Green, Zelena. We had Zelena just take Chelsea Green's U.S. title. Afterward, Chelsea did the best part of the night in a video that she posted to social medias afterward, where she was taking her banner, her seal of approval, and was crying and in the backstage and making a big deal out of it. But it feels like something that should probably end at a PLE if you do want to, like, you know, finalize Chelsea Green's reign as U.S. title. And the rumor is she wants to take some time off. So maybe we do get Chelsea Green, Zelena Vega finish off at Backlash. I don't know.
Yeah, that's also one that I kind of like the way we did this too. Like, mystery, kind of like, I don't really know about this. I would say probably about the same thing as like the Raw tag titles. Like, I feel like it's not going to really get the chance. It should. I mean, Zelena and Chelsea both missing out on Mania. You're kind of like, well, that sucks. And then they had the match on SmackDown, and kind of some mixed reactions, I would say. You got some people that are happy, but then some people that are upset. I feel like the people that are upset are kind of overshadowing Zelena's side of things. A PLE seems like it should happen. A PLE seems like it should have some sort of finish, especially with like Chelsea's character. You could have some sort of stipulation, and you could have Chelsea kind of be like embarrassed at the end, and she's surrounded by Secret Hervis, and I don't know, like, I know she's already been in a dumpster match, but she gets out of the dumpster and she's got trash all around her, and she's like, no, and she's got the Secret Hervis around her, something like that. Just something to be the indefinite end of the feud would be nice.
Yeah. I mean, do I think it's going to happen? No, I don't foresee it happening. In fact, I don't even know if Chelsea's really going to do anything this coming SmackDown. We may just kind of forget about it and move on to Zelena, but you know, it's something to ponder at. One that I definitely think is going to happen is we are going to get Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax. We're going to finish off that long storytelling that we took a break on after the Money in the Bank cash in. This is something that we're very excited about because we care about the logic in storytelling, and this just seems to be the next logical step in WWE storytelling. Whenever the Money in the Bank person comes out and steals the title, the champion or the previous champion always wants to get it back. We kind of just said no to that to do the Charlotte Flair stuff. Now we're back at it. And Nia and Tiffany proved during their stint before the title swap that they had really good chemistry in the ring, on the mic, all that good stuff. So this should be a really good one-off and a good first title defense for Tiffany at Backlash.
Yeah, it'll be a really nice one for Tiffany. We kind of talked about her solidifying herself with Charlotte Flair. Even though the feud wasn't great, even though the match, I would say, wasn't great, at the end of the day, you check the box, you look at it, and you're like, well, she beat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, kind of like Theory did with Cena. Now, obviously, that didn't really work out for Theory, but is what it is. So you look at it now, and it's like, okay, what's next? Nia is the logical answer. Something quick again, something that has the history, like you said. Being real life friends here really helps out both of them. They're both really good on the mic. They both have the really good in-ring chemistry together. This is going to be a really good match. I'm excited to see Nia Jax again. It's been a while since we've seen her. And Tiffany can once again solidify herself, and then she can just kind of be like that next, how do I want to put it? She can be like the newer, younger, stable, like workhorse champion sort of thing, right? Like you talked a little bit about it, I guess, with the women's NXT roster being so phenomenal and being so great, and you're starting to see some of them come up, and I mean NXT is almost oversaturated. That's how good they are. You need Tiffany to be solidified for all those women in NXT when they do come up, like, hey, okay, I want to go against Tiffany Stratton, and that can really take another step forward with the Nia Jax stuff.
Yeah, Nia's going to be her last loose end. I keep saying it. I mean, she took down Charlotte. When she takes down Nia, those are all the feathers in her cap that she needs. I'm with you. We're going to have draft time probably coming up, which means NXT call-ups. The NXT women's division is begging for call-ups because they are so oversaturated with talent down there. And Tiffany Stratton is just the absolute perfect champion to start throwing women at that come up there. I mean, I could see Roxanne and her immediately having a good clash, right? She even has history with some of these people in NXT because she wasn't there very long ago. So you have storylines that you can continue there, show the WWE Universe crowd that kind of misses out on NXT. So Tiffany's going to win this thing, but I think this match has to happen, and it should happen. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a good send-off on the story.
Yeah, it's a real great opportunity to kind of showcase the young women's talent with Tiffany at the helm, basically.
What else you got?
So I only have one more that I really think is going to happen. Like I said, a couple of these probably aren't going to happen. You're probably going to get, 6 matches probably?
I have 7. Yeah.
You have 7. Yeah. So, 6, 7 matches. I would say 6 is probably the definite number, I would say. You got to go with Jade and Naomi. It just kind of makes sense on this one. Again, great storytelling stuff. You had the WrestleMania match, and at the end of it, you look at it and you're like, huh. Okay, well, what do we pivot to now? Like, what's next kind of thing? Because it didn't feel like a finale, even though Jade dominated that match. You look back and Naomi got destroyed. So you look at it and Jade is really they showcased her with Tiffany, right? She's kind of like that, maybe that next woman up sort of thing. But Naomi's going to be the roadblock in the way. So you got to proceed with caution around the roadblock there. Yeah, you like that? So another good match here. It's something I expect Naomi to get the win here, to make it go to a rubber match, to make it go to a third one. Plus, it also just makes sense with the Bianca stuff. Bianca's being sidelined right now with her injury. You could have Naomi get the win here and really build up the Bianca being in the middle. Bianca being, I don't know which side to choose. Do I go with Jade? Do I go with Naomi? Who do I really choose? And it just kind of writes itself, and I'm here for it. I'm excited.
I had this match as well. I think Naomi and Jade's match at Backlash that I think is going to happen is really going to be their first match story-wise in the feud. And what I mean by that is, I think Bianca's going to get involved. So I think we're really going to start getting the juice, the meat of all this stuff in this match. I think Naomi is going to win because of it in some way, shape, or form. No, I'm not calling some big old Bianca heel turn or anything like that, but I do think we're going to get some sort of play in there. I mean, Bianca's hurt. She doesn't really have anything else to do at the moment, so her just coming out can really throw a wrench into this whole thing. So as good as their match was at WrestleMania, and I loved every second of it, I think that the real story bulk of this feud is going to begin here at Backlash, and it's going to shoot us into what is going to be the Naomi, Jade, Bianca whole thing.
Yeah, and I'm thinking maybe it's not even a make an appearance during the match sort of thing for Bianca. The way I would do it, which, I mean, don't really trust me. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I would have Naomi kind of destroy and dominate. And then maybe after the match, Naomi continues to kind of destroy Jade over and over and over. And Bianca comes out and tries to put a stop to it. So not necessarily that she's picking a side, but that's a way she can at least stand up for Jade. And Naomi's like, well, you pick her side again, sort of thing. That's how I would do it, at least.
Agreed. One more match that I have on here. It may miss it because we may need some more storytelling, but man, oh man, do I want to see this intercut, or not even IC, sorry. Man, oh man, do I want to see this United States Championship match.
I don't even know the title.
I know. I put the IC. United States title match.
We'd like to see that too. Dirty Dom.
Dirty Dom. Yeah, just have him walk out there. Uh-huh. Give him a full 10 minutes of just eating nuggets in the ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
U.S. title match, though, that I want to see, Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. SmackDown, all hell broke loose. Everybody was killing everybody. I mean, we finally got the announce table breaking with Damian Priest. Jacob Fatu was moonsaulting everybody in the world. So this match is just a smorgasbord of all the best mid-carders on SmackDown just being thrown at their mid-card title while Randy and Cena are doing their thing. And I think it should be fantastic, and it should be on the Backlash card just because we're going to be there, and damn, do I want to see that.
Yeah, this one, the Chelsea and Zelena, and then the tag match, those are kind of once. Now, people might bash me in the comments for saying I want the Raw tag titles on there. I want it specifically because of tag team wrestling, not because of what's happening. So, yeah, hopeful for those kind of like 3 matches, specifically this one. Like I said, we are going to be there, and that just sounds like a car wreck, and I want to see the car wreck, and I want to not look away. I want to just keep watching. Even the little bit we got on SmackDown was amazing. I don't know how they would really kind of continue everything if they don't have the match. Like if they don't have it soon, like you can't just keep having these 4 interchangeable parts for months and months and months and months and months, and then it happens at like a SummerSlam. Yep. So I would think it's maybe sooner rather than later. It might feel a little bit rushed here at Backlash, but they all have history and they all can kind of plug and play. And just sign me up because that just sounds really awesome. At WrestleMania with the Raw, with the IC title, they showed that they can really book a Fatal 4-Way, and it is interesting and it is fun and it is chaotic and people loved it. Well, you take this and you just kind of put it on steroids because these guys are just that much better. They're hard hitting, like phenomenal stuff. So just go ahead and give me that. And what may be just the most fun match of the night if it does make the card.
Oh, yeah, by far. If this does end up happening, it's going to be freaking amazing. I'm going to love it the most, probably. But one of the reasons that I think it's going to happen is because I think that WWE is actually going to pivot back to LA Knight being champion. Because I think that the solo Fatu thing isn't going to be for a belt. It's going to be more for just like the right to whatever bloodlines, story arc we are with that thing. And so you do have Solo on SmackDown coming out saying, this is all because of me. This is all because of me. This is all because of me. So what happens if Solo does end up trying to do too much for Fatu? And this is the one where he drops the title to one of these 3 other phenomenal people. I mean, you could give it to Drew if you wanted to too. But anyway, I just think that this would be an opportunity to get the Solo Fatu stuff really going. Would I hate to see Fatu drop the title? Yeah. Okay. I would really want Jacob Fatu to carry that title for a long time. But I just think they've done so much good story work with Solo and Fatu as is for months and months and months that a title doesn't really need to be involved with it. So if you're going to do it and drop Fatu and continue that storyline, a Fatal 4-Way with 4 of the top talents in all of WWE would be a good place for Solo to get involved and cost him.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of agree. It's for family, I guess, is what it would be for, like Fast and the Furious type stuff, I guess. I agree. It doesn't really need a title. And when he won it, that's awesome WrestleMania moment. You do look at it. He has that kind of to branch off to Drew and Damian. I don't really know looking forward what's kind of next for them. But LA Knight, also same thing. And LA Knight's got that proven track record of being able to have a good U.S. title reign. So that just kind of makes sense to put him back with the title.
Yeah, so that was our Backlash card prediction. 7 matches. I feel like that's pretty on. I think this is almost guaranteed. Cena, Tiff, Rhea, Roman, Naomi, Becky, and then the U.S. title match. I feel like that's a damn good card. If we get to see that in St. Louis, that's looking like a Mania-esque card to me, man.
Yeah. No Jey Uso on this card, though.
Yeah, no Jey Uso. He'll come out and yeet.
And I mean, there's rumors about, potentially joining a faction of some sort,
That would be absolutely insane, and I'm so here for it. Travis Scott comes out with Jey Uso. And could you imagine? Anyway, that's our Backlash predictions. Let us know in the comments what you guys think when it comes to the card. And make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Come to our live streams, youtube.com/@CodWrestlePod. We'll be live streaming from Raw, hopefully tonight, if all things go right. So check that out as well, because it's in Kansas City where we're at. But for everything else, at CodWrestlePod on everything, COD WrestlePod. Linktree in our bio. It's got everything. So good old like, follow, subscribe on all that as well, because we love you guys. I'm Will. That's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast, and we will see you next time.